Nivens here. Time for your weekly rock wind-up. Gonna jump right into it with a little bit of cat fighting going on. It seems that D. Snider, frontman for Twisted Sister, having some choice words for Paul Stanley, who had some choice words for D. Snider, when D. Snider, a while back, had commented on kind of how ridiculous it was that Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer were replacing the personas of Ace Frehley, as well as Peter Criss. I think many of us agree with that statement right there. He thought it was disrespectful. He thought it was disgusting. So then once, Paul Stanley was able to respond on the Talk is Jericho podcast of Chris Jericho, he basically called D. Snider a wannabe, that he's a buffoon, that he sucks. And then at that point, D was like, yo, anytime, any place, we'll get on stage, we'll rock. We don't need pyrotechnics. We don't need a bunch of explosions. I'll just mop you up off the floor, kid. So I like to see that little battle royale. Details to follow, I'm sure. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears from beatdowns, celebrity beatdowns to, all right, that's the good news. If you remember a couple of times now, Motorhead having to cancel their shows. In fact, one of them down in Austin was really sad. 3 songs into it, Lemmy's like, I just can't do it. Well, on Tuesday night in St. Louis, they took to the stage and they rocked an entire set, so hopefully that means Lemmy is doing better health-wise. Still no word on if we're going to get a chance to see Motorhead come back through KC. Hopefully that changes. I'd like to see that. As soon as we know, you'll know. Let's switch gears to politics and rock and roll, shall we? Kim Davis, remember her down in Kentucky? She didn't want to let the gays get married because, that's what her God says. And then Donald Trump, who thinks he is God. Both of them using respective quote-unquote rock stars' music for their stumping. When Davis was released from jail, she played Survivor's Eye of the Tiger. And then Trump most recently using R.E.M's It's the End of the World as I Know It. Michael Stipe from R.E.M. basically told him to and the main guy that wrote the Survivor tune is now threatening a lawsuit for using it illegally. So, way to go, politicians. You make these laws that we're all supposed to follow. You can't seem to figure out the simple ones you're not supposed to follow, which is basically illegally using music. Way to go. All right. And we'll close out your weekly rock wind up with new music stuff announcements. I think a new statue getting rolled out would be like new music stuff, right? Out in Kiramer, Scotland, it looks like there's going to finally be the Bon Scott statue. He was born there before moving over to Australia and then subsequently becoming part of one of the biggest bands in the world, AC/DC. Speaking of AC/DC, they might be retiring soon, so no. John 5, of course, we saw him this summer when he was guitaring for Rob Zombie. Going to be putting out a greatest hits album on Halloween via iTunes and Amazon. And then it'll be out on Black Friday, November 27th. Officially, like a hard copy with the DVD and the John 5 store. Pretty cool on that. You got Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses cover going to be on there, as well as Beat It from Michael Jackson. Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker going to be releasing an autobiography this November on the 19th. Can I Say Living Large, Cheating Death, and Drums, Drums, Drums. And The Devil You Know, Howard Jones, formerly of Killswitch Engage. Those guys are going to be putting out their sophomore album, They Bleed Red, on November 6th via Nuclear Blast Records. I'm Nivens. Thank you very much for tuning into your weekly rock wind-up. Have a great weekend, and